Yo, what's up guys? Mike here, coming at you from the mushroom farm, and I got a great video for you guys tonight. So tonight we're going to do a little subscriber Q&A. I've had several of you drop really good questions and comments down in the comment section below. Really appreciate that. And those of you just now tuned into this video, my name's Mike. I'm a mushroom farmer. I've been farming gourmet mushrooms 9 years full time. Here's just a few shots of some of my grows over the years, but we are standing here actually in western Colorado in my brand new mushroom farm that I built myself. I'm actually standing in one of the grow rooms right now. We've got it full of medicinal mushrooms like reishi mushroom and some cordyceps right now. But normally I grow gourmet mushrooms in this grow room, and we sell them at farmers markets and to high-end restaurants. And we have a subscriber giveaway going on right now. I want to say if you want to enter the subscriber giveaway, all you have to do is click down in the description box below, go to the video that says subscriber giveaway, and drop a comment there, okay? I will be announcing the winner at noon on Thanksgiving, Rocky Mountain time. So get all your entries and comments in by then, but just one comment will get you entered. I also want to say I have a Black Friday sale coming up for all my liquid cultures over on my website. We're going to kick that sale off Friday. But anyway, if you want some really good deals on liquid cultures, be sure to check that out. And if you want more videos on mushroom and farming, be sure to click that subscribe button right now so you get more mushroom and farming videos like this in the future. But anyway, on to today's video. Let's talk about the subscriber Q&A. I've had several of you drop down questions for me in the comment section. And by the way, keep those coming. If you got questions, keep them coming. I'll make more detailed videos on all these too, by the way. The first thing I want to talk about is how long does a liquid culture last? Okay, now I did make a video on this previously, but I've had several new subscribers come to the channel. They may not have seen the video yet, but go check that video out if you haven't seen it. But what I will say, okay, when you purchase a liquid culture from me on my website, you want to use it within about 6 months to 1 year. Anywhere in that time zone, it's for sure going to be good to go. You can also refrigerate them and they will keep even longer, okay? Now I want to say, these liquid cultures can keep for a very, very long time. Now I've actually tested it. Now in the video that I showed before, how long does a liquid culture last, I actually tested some liquid cultures that I had stored in room temperature, just in storage. And they're old, I never really use them, but I had some extra just laying around. Felt like just testing them because I was like, wow, these are super old. So anyway, in that video, I tested a 5-year-old syringe, and it was completely viable, totally good, clean mycelium. I want to say I've even got some now that I tested recently that were 6 years old, still from that same batch years ago, and they're still good. So liquid cultures can last crazy long. The thing of it is, you want to keep the temperature pretty much temperate, okay? So like obviously if you do keep them in a refrigerator, they'll last even longer because it puts the mycelium pretty much in a dormant state and it really kind of slows down its growth. But I'll just say, even at room temperature, it's sealed up in there, it's not getting any more oxygen, so it really kind of puts it in a dormant state there anyway. And the key is, just don't ever let these things get super hot. You don't ever want to let them, and actually even if they freeze, a lot of times if they freeze, you can rethaw them and they're going to be okay. But the main thing that will totally smoke an LC is just it getting too hot, okay? I would never let any of them get over 70 something degrees, okay? That's like the top point you'd ever want it to be. If you ever got one in your mailbox for a little bit, you can go snag it, you know, try to get it as quickly as you can. You don't want it to be out there getting cooked at like 100 degrees. That's like the main thing. But overall, liquid cultures last a super long time. I do recommend though, for best use it within 1 year, all right? So on to the next question. Samson, my new lion's mane strain. There was a question basically, when I'm gonna release a combo pack with Samson, the Yeti in it, and Cyrus, aka Lion's Pride. Those are the 3 most prolific, high-yielding strains I have here on my farm. And I won't have that combo pack available for the Black Friday sale. Samson will be available, Yeti will be available for the Black Friday sale. I will have Cyrus on my website sometime in the month of December, and we'll have that combo pack on there then. Maybe I'll give a deal towards the end of the month in December. We'll do another subscriber giveaway in December too. So if anybody's interested in combo packs like the Samson, Cyrus, and Yeti strain, I'm going to do a big lion's mane pack. That's going to be a super cool pack. I would totally recommend anybody that wants to grow lion's mane, any one of those 3 strains is straight killer, okay? So you can't go wrong. I just recommend kind of growing them out and seeing which ones you like best. And I actually like starting multiple strains of spawn of lion's mane and just have them running, just in case if you ever have like contamination or failure, then you got another strain running, you know? So always good to keep multiple of them going, but all three of them are awesome strains. I'll have them all available in December, but like I said, Samson and Yeti will be on my website for the Black Friday sale. Now, another question I got was spawn expansion, okay? And this was basically like generation 1 to generation 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. How far can you really stretch your grain out? Now, I'm going to say it's totally going to depend on the genetics and that specific strain. You never really truly know, okay? I'll say things like blue oysters, king oysters, chestnuts, like things that have crazy aggressive mycelium. You can continuously keep going grain to grain as long as your technique is good and you're doing everything super sterile, but you could always potentially track in some mold or contaminate your batch one way or another. So honestly, me personally, I don't go really far in my grain generations. Typically, I make like a G1 in a bag, and at the most, I'll go G2, okay? And otherwise, typically, I'm just going from G1 straight to bulk substrate. If I really want to stretch my grain out, though, for whatever reason, I do G2 sometimes, but typically, I like to go culture to grain, use it, okay? And if I'm not doing that, I'm going culture to grain, then I expand it out one time, and then I use it, okay? So you can keep going, like I said, with these aggressive strains over and over again and keep doing further and further expansions, but you could potentially contaminate the more expansions you do. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, it's totally dependent on the genetics, but a lot of these commercial strains are crazy, and you can just keep expanding them. Okay, I want to add in one more question. Just decided to edit this at the end. I just realized there was a lot of subscribers asking this question. I'm going to make a video just for this and talking about this. And I also want to ask you guys, talking about expansion and everything like that, how do you guys feel about a dry erase board or something like that? Would that help? Are any of you guys visual learners? I'm just curious. I've been debating getting one, kind of putting one up in the lab and maybe drawing stuff out for you guys on videos, just so you can have like a visual aid. Let me know what you think about that. But anyway, another question is, how far can you actually expand a culture out, okay? And anyway, I want to say it's totally variable. You never really truly know. There's not really a good black and white answer, to tell you the truth. I wish I could give you guys a better answer, but I'll just tell you kind of the theory behind it and everything. So check this out. So when you have a culture, like if it's in a slant or like a centrifuge tube or something like that, you take that out, you make an LC, okay, or you make an agar plate. That's your very first generation up here in the culture, okay? You want to I always keep pulling from my slant or my test tube, my centrifuge tube, as much as possible, okay? And I keep backups from that first generation there, all right? Now, from there, like I said, you can go to LC, or you can go to agar, and then you can go to grain, and then you can keep expanding a little bit. Typically, I don't like to go further with my grain, like I said in that previous question, than G2. But then, like, how far can the culture really last? You never really know. And I'll just kind of say, it's kind of like asking someone, like, when you're born, it's like, hey, how long am I going to live? Because you never truly know. Anything could happen. You could have, like, some type of catastrophic failure or accident along the way, or just those individual genetics just may only be good so long, you know what I mean? And that's why we always work to create new genetics and everything like that. Now, anything I'm selling and growing here on my farm, they are commercially viable. And the ones I'm growing out here on my farm, I've been using most of these for years, so I've had a lot of these things running for years. And I'll say even some like agaricus farms, I'm not going to take the time to Google it, but you guys can Google what's like the longest running mushroom culture. There's mushroom cultures that have been running like over 40 years, like with big agaricus bisporus farms, like those button mushrooms. And then also like Anheuser-Busch, I believe they have like a culture of yeast that they've been using for like over 100 years, okay? So you can keep expanding your mushroom cultures quite a bit, but like I always keep those genetics as fresh as I can in like a centrifuge tube or a slant, just to limit expansions, because that's just the thing. I mean, you don't want to do anything crazy and just keep expanding it out, because then you're just wasting potential. All right, so always keep it the youngest genetic state possible, but don't be afraid to expand these things out. A lot of people are. I noticed that too. A lot of people are like afraid to expand them out. Do not be afraid to expand them out. Like, you can just keep blasting them out, but always keep those slants. And like I said, I'm going to have some slants available on my website. We're not going to have the slants up for the Black Friday sale, but I will have the slants up sometime in December. So if any of you guys want long-term storage slants so you feel comfortable just pulling from that, putting that into New LC, putting that onto Agar or something like that, you can start with one of my slants and you don't have anything to worry about then. You can just keep expanding out from that one centrifuge tube, or you can make some yourself. But anyway, hopefully that answered your question there, and let me know what you guys think about, like I said, visual aids like dry erase boards and this and that. Do I ever reuse syringes? Okay, and I'll just say, me personally, no. I haven't reused syringes since like my first couple months doing mycology, and it was just because I was just learning back then. And I heard you could reuse syringes, so I wanted to try it to save some money. But then once I actually made this like my full-time job, I realized it's just wiser to just use a new syringe every single time, just so you don't accidentally contaminate something. Especially a guy like me selling cultures, it's just wiser for a dude like me always to have fresh, clean stuff. So I never ever consider reusing syringes, needles, anything like that. I will say, if you do want to reuse syringes, this is what I've done in the past. You can actually take them, get some water boiling, and you can just clean them out actually with boiling water and just kind of suck it up and shoot it out 5 times, all right? And that should give you a clean syringe, seriously. So if you want to try it, give it a shot. I honestly never do that though, just because I never want to take the risk on my farm, because I've always got so much on the line if I were to get a contamination problem. So I never do it personally. Now, needles, never done anything like that with needles, but you can always flame your needle. Anything on the inside, like I said, you could suck up boiling water too, and I'm sure you wouldn't have a problem then either. What I would do is I'd suck it up 5 times, just like the syringe, and then I'd flame that needle, and you're probably good to go. But like I said, me personally, I never risk it. Now, anyway, if any of you guys have any questions on anything I went over, just drop down below in that comment section. I'll be sure to answer all your questions. I'm going to go back right now, actually. After I post this video up, I'm going to go back and answer all the questions you guys have dropped down for me in the comment section that I haven't gotten to. Thank you guys for all the comments. I've just been busy doing work here on the farm, getting the cultures ready and everything like that. And if you got any questions over anything I went over, be sure to just drop that down in the comment section. Also, remember, subscriber giveaway, get entered in that if you're not, and we got the Black Friday sale coming up. But hopefully you found this video helpful and informative tonight. If you did, please drop this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's all I got for you on this one, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.